Hello, I'm Ken Fobb. This is NewsNet, Baton Rouge. Grab a tea or coffee as I go over with you headlines and news from our local area and region. In Baton Rouge, officials say a pedestrian was struck by a train on Wednesday night in the downtown area. This incident happened around 10:20 p.m. on Convention Street near North 14th Street, when, according to witnesses, a man, assuming the train was stalled, attempted to crawl underneath the train to the other side of the track, while at the same time, this man attempted to pull his bicycle underneath the train to the other side as well. The train started to move, struck the pedestrian, and totally crushed his bicycle. Witnesses called 911, and upon arrival, police found a 22-year-old man in critical condition. They transported him to a local hospital with what they considered at the time to be life-threatening injuries. In the city of Port Allen last week, residents of the Blanchard Estates were forced to stay inside of their homes because of a wild bear that was roaming around the neighborhood. One of the residents, Miss Lisa West, posted a video of the alarming situation on Facebook as the bear rummaged around her backyard. She says she's lived there nearly 15 years and has never seen a bear before. Other residents of the neighborhood were also disturbed while observing this bear. Once the West Baton Rouge Parish Sheriff's Office arrived to investigate, they discovered the bear had left the area and returned into some nearby woods. No one was reported attacked or hurt, and no significant property damage was observed. Unclaimed property in Louisiana is kept in a special account by the Louisiana State Treasurer's Office for and on behalf of Louisiana citizens. Louisiana collects unclaimed dollars from old savings accounts, stocks, and utility deposits on behalf of residents who actually own the cash. This cash is protected in a special escrow account, and then the Treasurer's Office tries to locate the owners so that the money can be returned to them. Now, Louisiana State Treasurer John Schroeder is reporting to the public his office will not allow the state of Louisiana to spend $25 million out of this unclaimed property account, which is expected to be used as part of the state's general operating expense fund this fiscal year. Treasurer Schroeder is saying he considers such a financing mechanism in the state of Louisiana's budget to be illegal. However, some critics of the state treasurer's decision say this will create a hole in the state's $30 billion operating budget that was already recently passed by the legislature and signed by the governor. Governors and lawmakers for decades have been spending money from the unclaimed property escrow account to use for state budget purposes. Governor John Bel Edwards says he disagrees with the treasurer's position on this matter, and he says this $25 million is needed to pay for critical services. But State Treasurer John Schroeder says he and his office's staff attorneys, after researching this issue, do not believe Louisiana law actually permits or allows such account transfers. I will keep you posted, so stay close. Finally, in terrible news out of Nassau, Bahamas, involving 3 May of 2019 LSU graduates. On July 4th, the helicopter owned by Mr. Chris Klein, a billionaire coal mining entrepreneur from West Virginia, crashed into the ocean just off of Grand Cay Island in the Bahamas when it was on its way back to Fort Lauderdale. According to the Royal Bahamas Police Force, the helicopter went missing after it took off from the Big Grand Cay. It was later found 2 miles off of Grand Cay near some islands owned by Chris Klein. 3 of the victims in this fatal crash had been invited as 2019 LSU graduates and as alumni of the Phi Nu sorority. They were Jillian Clark, Brittany Searson, and Cameron Klein. Cameron, one of the LSU graduates, was the daughter of Mr. Chris Klein. Mr. Chris Klein was also killed in the crash, along with passengers David Jude, Delaney Wickle, and a helicopter mechanic from Florida. The Klein family released a statement on Friday afternoon, which, among other things, requested prayers and privacy while everyone grieves. Aviation safety investigators in the Bahamas are currently working diligently to determine what caused this helicopter crash. These have been headlines and news from our local area and region. I'm yours truly, Ken Fobb. I'll see you next time right here on NewsNet, Baton Rouge.